Alright, good morning people. I just woke up. Technically my official day one as I arrived last night. And I left the place where I'm staying at with my cousin. And I didn't know it was right next to the Blue Mosque, but it is. There it is. And it's raining. I actually don't know if you can see it, but I can. So I had to buy an umbrella. Which is fine. It's just, I think it actually only might rain for one day, so this will get its money's worth as I'll probably be walking all day. But here's the Blue Mosque. At this point I'm kinda not as in awe of it anymore. And then here's, to be honest, I think it's Egyptian, I know, but I forget the name of it. It's like something. And then the tourists go around it, but hieroglyphics and all that stuff. And you go this way, those minarets are the Hagia Sophia. Which if my math is right, it's the oldest building in Istanbul. Like, I think it was 536 BC, you know, before Christ and all that jazz. And the weird thing is of all this, I'm in the rain for the first time I think ever in this country. Which sounds funny, because I spend months at a time here in the summer, but never in November. And it might turn miserable soon, but as long as I stay warm, it's fine. And now I just need to find breakfast. And then after breakfast, I have to walk to my friend, who I didn't know was a barber, but he is apparently. Well, not apparently, I know he is. So I'm gonna walk to his joint, get my hair cut. Hopefully by then the rain stops, but if not, then oh well, that's life. And there's the Hagia Sophia, which is under renovation. I don't know how long, or for how long as well. Maybe the two. I don't know how long it'll go on for. But there it is. I don't know what they're restoring, besides the fact that they're trying to make it not fall down. But I don't know, because there's nothing going on inside from when I went 4 months ago. But yeah, they're just, I suppose, making sure the walls don't crumple inward. And now the problem is I have to find breakfast, which I can very easily. It's called a street kebab. Because I don't know what time it is right now. It's 11. Alright, so I'm almost at the barber shop where I want to get my hair cut. And I accidentally walked upon a mosque that is for Sultan Mehmet, I believe is who it was for. Yeah, Fatih Sultan Mehmet, which I've never actually been to. So that's cool. I've only ever been to, you know, the Blue Mosque, Hagia Sophia, and then the Süleymaniye Jami, which is for Süleyman the Magnificent, but this is for Fatih Sultan Mehmet, which I don't know the proper lineage and who comes first, who's the more important one. But here I am. And as far as I understand it, if you're a very big person in terms of history, you get a park built around you. You know what I'm saying? I've never actually been in here before. But I don't know if it's all made by the same guy. It might be. I know the Blue Mosque was built by Mimar Sinan, which apparently I'm related to, but I don't think I actually have any proof of that. But if it's all built by Mimar Sinan, then there's a reason why this looks just like the Blue Mosque. But it's very cool. I'm enjoying it. Alright, I did some digging. This was made by a different architect with the same last name. So the reason I thought it was built by Mimar Sinan is because it was the same name, but different people. And this place was built in 1463, which is 10 years after the fall of Constantinople, by by Fatih Sultan Mehmet himself. So I suppose he died between 53 and 63. So they built him this grand mosque. See, here's a Garfield. Oh wow, that was cool. I've never seen that before. I wonder if it actually knows how to hunt. Vay be. Bak ben neredeyim?
Vallahi helal olsun.
Nasılsın?
Here, Ali, my barber, just tells me that I kept my promise and I didn't cut my hair for the last 5 months because he last cut my hair on June 28th of this year. And he was kind of surprised because no one really cuts their hair, or no one skips cutting their hair for 5 months, and I did. So I kind of joked that I'm going to have to wait another year for when I come back in summer, and then after that summer, a second summer, and basically I'm going to have to wait every year because I kept the promise once. I'll do it for however long he cuts my hair for. And then we talk about the usual catch-up that's happened in the last 4 months, and then you'll hear in the background, it sounds like on the loudspeaker a prayer, and that's because at the time it was the prayer time, and in Muslim countries, over the loudspeakers on every mosque, they read a verse from the Quran as like a public community thing, I suppose. I don't really know how to explain it. It's because instead of going to church on Sundays, you pray 5 times a day every day. So that's what the noise is in the background.
Tuttum.
Hoş geldin.
Yağmur gördün mü?
Haber? İyi misin?
İyiyim.
Hiç
Nasılsın?
yağmur yağmadı ki.
Yok sabah geçti.
Ha.
Yani oho ne kadar düştü. Şemsiye aldım. Getirmedim aldım sokaktan.
Nasılsın?
İyiyim her şey iyi.
Allah iyilik versin. Saçları uzatmaya devam.
Aynen düğünden beri hiç dokunmadım.
Bir kere kestirmişsin galiba.
Yok sadece yanlar. Çünkü kulaklarım üstüne gitti. Ama ondan sonra yani yukarısı uzun oldu.
Ne yapıyorsun?
Hiçbir şey. Yani okul tatil başladı.
He.
He. Gördün mü?
Geldin.
YouTube yapıyorum artık.
Ha.
Yani deneyeceğim bu tatilin içinde.
Gelmişsin.
İşte.
Ne kadar buradasın, kaç gün?
Birinci. 12 ayın birinci. Bir hafta. Tam bir hafta.
Hadi bakalım.
Ama bak sana geldim.
Hoş geldin.
Ondan sonra çay içelim.
İnşallah. Alacağım mısın seni? 2 dakika bekle. Sen
Tamam.
istersen hazırlan.
Hazırım. Sadece
Çıkart üstünü. Şöyle bir koltuğa otur. Seni yıkayacak şimdi, ben geleceğim.
çok güzel. Alright, I got my hair cut and I look like a changed man. I haven't seen my face in a very long time. Well, that's a lie. I see it every day, but not like this. I haven't had short hair as I drop my umbrella in a really long time since I buzzed my hair on the first day of summer 2 years ago. I look like Mateo Kovacic now from Manchester City, but that's fine with me. All right, we're in the Kapalı Çarşı, the closed bazaar. You can buy all sorts of anything in here, and I always assume that all this is fake anyway, but there is a high likelihood that it comes from the same Chinese factory that the real stores get their stuff from.
Altın falan diyordum.
Işık görmüyor mu?
Yanıyor.
The gold is real though. Maybe not the clothes as much, but the gold.
So here we're at our regular little lunch spot in the closed bazaar, and then we find out that they no longer sell like these kebab skewers, and we found out that they only do chicken shish kebabs at the moment because they sold out of all the red meat, and it was a great disappointment to us because we just really like the flavor that they do there, and they cook it in a different way. At least I think, I don't know, the flavor is different compared to other places that you find on the street. So we were like, damn, we should have came earlier, because at this time it was like around 3 o'clock. And apparently 3 o'clock is late enough to sell out of all your meat.
Abi merhabalar. Sen ne yiyeceksin?
Ben bir Adana alırım.
Bir porsiyon mu, 1,5 mu?
Bir buçuk.
1,5.
Why won't this just stay?
Adana yok mu?
Ne yapalım o zaman?
Biz İstanbul'un kebabı için geliyoruz.
Yani tavuk şiş mi?
Ye. Tavuk şiş.
Yani ben tavuk şiş yerim.
Tamam, 1,5 bize 1,5 tavuk attı.
Tüh.
Erken gelmemiz lazım. Neyse yarın.
Aynen yarın.
Here are the chicken skewers, and at the end of the day, it still tasted great, still looked good. It's just, it doesn't beat the traditional kebabs that you can get, because Yeah, it's just a chicken skewer. You can kind of make that anywhere.
Alright, I got off the Istanbul equivalent of Muni and I made it to where my uncle's shop is. Pardon, Turan amca burada mı?
Gelecek.
Gelecek.
İşi vardı bir 5-10 dakika sonra.
Şahan da çalışıyor mu şu an?
Şu an Şahan yok burada.
Tamam
Ne
çünkü
vardı?
Turan benim amca bilmiyor ben İstanbul'a geldim.
Öyle.
Surprise yapacaktım.
Sen kim? Deniz misin sen?
Yok Kevin. Ben Amerika'da kalıyorum.
Ha gel otur gel.
Aa koltuklar değişti.
Hoş geldin otur.
Hoş bulduk. Nasılsın?
Teşekkür ederim. Sağ ol. Gelecek şimdi.
Çok güzel.
Değiştirdik, yeniledik.
So here, my uncle's coworker was taking care of the shop at the moment because my uncle went to go deal with something, and I didn't know at the time because it's my first time being back in 4 months. So I was talking with him, asking like, "Hey, is my uncle here? And if not my uncle, is my cousin here because they work together?" And he was like, "No, but how do you know these people?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm related to them. They're my family." And he thought that I was someone else. That's why I had to explain that I'm me and that I'm from America. And then I basically told him that no one knows that I'm in the country, and I came to surprise him because that's what you do when you come to a country unannounced, and there's people that you know. So that's what I did. And then next up, you'll see what my uncle thought.
Kral. Kral ne yapıyorsun ya?
Bak,
ne
sürpriz.
işin var burada?
İşte eşim yok burada geldim.
Here he was asking me what I was doing in the country because, to be fair, I had no reason to be there.
Gel. Hoş geldin.
Nasılsın? İşte gel.
Oo, sürpriz oldu lan.
Sürpriz. Ben.
Çok yakışıklı olmuşsun. Gözlük var lan.
Aa çikolatamı unuttum.
Lan boş ver çikolatayı. Bir sen çikolata verin.
Ama
Nerede?
anne aldı senin için ama.
Nasıl?
İyiyim. Yani
Niye? Burada
He still doesn't understand I'm in this country for no reason. And then I tell him that I kind of forgot the chocolate that my mom bought him as a gift. And so I kind of have to give it back to him at a later date. But he tells me to forget the chocolate because I'm here. Which I suppose is a fair point, actually.
burada ne işin var? Hayırdır?
Sana geldi.
Gezmeye geldin.
I explained that I was here originally to watch a football game between my team, Fenerbahce, and the opponent, Galatasaray. And then the game got delayed because Fenerbahce qualified for the European League tournament. And as a result, they delayed the derby. So instead, I'm here to visit family, which wasn't supposedly the original plan, but
Galatasaray maç için geldik. Geldik ve geldin. Aa Fenerbahçe'nin.
Mağlup Galatasaray yani.
Ben Beşiktaş'taydım ama çünkü biz Avrupa Ligi'nin içine girdik. Bir gün sonra yaptı. Şimdi seni görmek için geldim.
Çok iyi ya.
Hem
Akşam
de
bizdesin.
he then invites me over to his house to have dinner and, meet the rest of the family that doesn't know I'm here. So I then tell him that I'm getting out with that. And I'm going to beat his son in FIFA because when I was here last year in June, he said that he beat me, which I severely doubt.
olur.
Tamam.
Hem de Kartal'la FIFA oynayacağım.
Ya tamam.
Yeneceğim onu.
Aa,
He.
öyle mi dedi?
He.
Kartal'la şimdi
Ne oldu?
So then his son comes over to the store because there's a surprise waiting, and the surprise is me, but his son also doesn't know about it. So what you're going to see next is him not recognizing me at all, and him going through all the spinning hamster wheels in his head, thinking who is this kid standing in front of him, until he finally gets it, and he's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Merhaba yaptın mı sana?
Ha, hangisi?
İkisi.
Süleyman abi.
Bu abi kim?
Bir tane mi?
Tanımıyor musun?
Yok.
Nasıl?
Ciddi mi?
Bir yerden sıkacak gibiyim de sıkayamıyorum.
Yani biz görüştük Haziran'da.
Kevin abi mi?
He.
Abi sen ne değişmişsin? Hiç tanımadım seni.
Nasılsın?
So the reason why he looks so surprised right here is because it's only been 6 months since I was last here, but in that amount of time I'd practically buzzed all my hair, and I'm wearing non-prescription glasses to record all of this. So I kind of look like a completely new person. And so he thought I was not anyone he knew of. And then finally the hamster wheel spun properly, and he got it that it was me.
Abi hiç...
Saçımı kestim.
Evet belli. Nasıl abi?
İyiyim.
Ye.
Sen nasılsın? Okulun bitti.
Yok abi kurstan geldim.
İşte İspanyolca kurs zaten okul değil mi?
Söyledin sen.
Now I'm sitting in bed because the day's over. I got my hair cut, I visited family, and I'm now just kind of relaxing. So I thank you for watching episode 1 of my trip, of the 3rd time this year. And as planned, there's more to come. Although maybe sometimes when I'm visiting family, there's not much going on, so maybe I skip a day or two. Who knows? I'm gonna go to bed tomorrow, a new one hopefully, if not the next day. And yeah, so far this has been fun.